turkey with mustard on the back, olives and peppers, 'cause I like it like that. Wich, wich, get your wich, get your wich, wich.
Let me hit you with a hard fact. Most change efforts fail. And what's missing in most cases is a real sense of urgency across an organization. And what ignites that sense of urgency, that decision to change in the now, is a fuse lit by the top, by the founder, by the leader. And so that's what you should talk about today, the need for urgency, how you've quite honestly been remiss in creating that urgency in your latest endeavor, and how you plan to create and maintain it in your organization to bring about real transformational change. So let's start with the definition of the word. Urgency is a combination of thoughts, feelings, and actual behavior. The thoughts are that there are great opportunities out there, but they come with great hazards. The feelings are a gut-level determination that we're going to do something now, and we're going to do something to win. And the behavior is this hyper-alertness to what's going on. It's a sense of coming to work each and every day with a commitment to making something happen. It's the sense that you have to give off to other people, that we've got to get going on this because it's so important. It's the commitment that if you're doing junk, get it out of the way, because you can't work 100 hours a week and die. That's not the point. You don't win that way. It's determination and movement that's smart, that wins. The fundamental reason you need urgency is because the rate of change is going up. Everybody says that, and very few people actually do anything about it. If you look at all kinds of global activity, it's going up. It's not linear. And the faster the world moves, the more you need to change. And what we found again and again and again is that right at the beginning of successful change, you get a sense of urgency going. And if you don't, everything slows down. Everything is tougher. Everything is more frustrating. You have to understand urgency's importance. You have to be dedicated to wanting to create it because you see what it can do for you, for the organization, for the world. And then you have to provide the leadership and vision to make it happen.
Does anyone other than me have that little voice in their head that constantly talks to you? That voice for me is Hala Habal. She's my vice president of communications. I spend hours with her, and she knows me. She knows what I'm thinking. And not only can she read from the back of the room, but it's spinning in there, the voices. Not the voices of the crazies, but the voices of your wife, your friends, your business partners, your customers. They all start to add up over there, and they start to get loud. And when they start to get loud, you have to process and interpret and really listen. What does this all mean? I didn't name this presentation, this speech, or I'm not here to entertain, like Rand said. I'm here just because one, Rand asked me, but Rand named this My Momentous Leap. If you know me, I'm highly branded, and leap's an important word for us in an organization. The acronym goes for leadership, education, action, performance, people, passion, purpose. A lot of the things we talk about daily. But this is about my momentous leap because of this guy right here. He named it, but he knows me. He knows me first as a friend. When we were back down in Deep Ellum 25 years ago, Rand was at the Met selling ads and doing a publication, and I was starting out in my bar career. And I'll never forget one day I had the opportunity through a sponsorship with the Met to invite Rand as being a guest judge in the Hawaiian Tropic Bikini Contest. He couldn't get down there fast enough that day. And we had a great time, as friends do. But a couple things I know about that. Neither one of us found our wives that day. but I think Rand is still friends with Heidi Franz on Facebook. But this guy, he's a friend. And as a friend, as I started my next concept, Genghis Grill, he invited me to a coffee shop, and I thought we were just going to have coffee. And we're sitting there talking, and he's talking about what he's starting, what he's getting into, what he's doing. He's inviting me to be part of this tribe, this forum, this group, this class. I'm like, I'm allergic to school, but he's trying to get there, and I'm, Jeff, do you want to be a transformational leader? I'm like, I don't even know what that means. But he invites me to be part of what was the Stagen Institute at that time, and I think they've taken some iterations and names from institute to academy to leadership. But anyways, the Stagen Institute, as I referred to it, he asked me if I'd like to enroll in our first class, and he presents me with an invoice. And I flinch. Because back then it was a lot of money. Today it's still a lot of money. But this was 20 years ago. And when your friend is circling around you, you take a chance. And I took a chance, and I was part of the first class because, well, I paid the tuition. And when I saw the first class, I'm like, I think I was the only one that paid tuition. Except for maybe Rick Sapio. After we compared notes, Rick paid double. But I think with those founding dollars, we're sitting here now 20 years later in really some greatness. And I'm highly thankful. But during that, I had a coach. My coach is in the room, Brett. And I was on my way with my new company, Genghis Grill. We were growing. It was a Mongolian barbecue. We were winning awards. Everything was great. But through the Stagen, you find out that there's a real caring. And Rand was networking with some of my team members. And he was doing what Rand does, kind of behind the scenes. And I was working with my coach. But Rand calls me for a private meeting in my own office. And like last time we were in a meeting, he hit me up with an invoice. So I didn't know where this was going. But he said, Jeff, we got to talk about some things. You have to be cautious here. I'm getting a feeling talking to your team members that your company's in trouble. I'm like, oh, no, it can't be. I just met my girlfriend, Courtney, who, by the way, Rand introduced me to. I'm like, Courtney and I, we're looking at fancy homes, nice cars. I thought my lottery ticket came in. But Rand's sitting across the desk from me, and I was part in denial. I really I can't remember, and we talk about it quite a bit. But he asked for my credit cards, and he cut them up right there on the spot. Cut him up right there on the spot. I feel like I blacked out. He knows the story better than I do, but the next couple months was tough. We had to transition and get out of the millions of dollars that were on my back, and it was a heavy load, the financial load of that. And it wasn't pretty, but somehow we exited, and I kind of spun it that I had an offer I couldn't refuse. But it left me in a very, very dark place, not professionally diagnosed, but for me it was like rock bottom. I literally had nothing, still hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt, and $12.23 in my ATM, which I've saved the receipt. It hangs in my office now. But I was at the bottom. And when you hit the bottom, I still had the girlfriend, although I was questioning why she was even around. I had a dog that I named Genghis. He had no choice but to stay with me. But everything else was just gone. I had a friend in Rand. But I knew I had something, and because I'm a thinker of concepts, and I had a name called Wich. And I said I was going to do this new thing called Wich. It was going to be in sandwiches, and we were going to make sandwiches. And I'm telling all my friends I'm doing this, and yet I'm still in my workout clothes, walking my dog. And my friends are asking me, when are you going to do this? And I'm like, dude, when I'm ready, I'm working on it. Cut me some slack. Jeff, when are you going to do this? And I just kept saying when, till finally you find out who your good friends are. Antonio Swad, who founded Pizza Patron and Wingstop pulls me aside. And he says, when are you going to do this? It's one of those moments. I'm like, dude, I'm working on it. I want it to be right. He's like, when the fuck are you going to open this? Sorry to swear. I don't know if that's the first F-bomb on stage, but but this was a serious conversation. He said, let me give you some advice. Without putting a date on something, it's never going to happen. Without setting your date, this will never open. He goes, give me a date. And I did some quick Sinelli math in my head, looked 4 months out. I said, December 1st. We're going to open Wich on December 1st. I needed 4 months. When I set that date, my whole world changed. It was like, the skies opened up and things started to happen. I set a deadline of December 1st, and all of a sudden the phone started to ring. Real estate started to appear. Sandwiches started to come together. And the phone rings from the leading magazine in our industry, QSR, and they said, Jeff, we want to put you on the cover. I'm like, for what? Like this new thing you're working on. Oh, you heard about it. Yeah, we hear you're opening up in December. We want to put you on the December cover. I thought, I got friends like Sapio and Rand, that I was being punked. But this was a real deal. But it's a testament to how this universe works. The Alchemist says, the book, but if you want something bad enough, the world's going to conspire to give it to you. I put it out there, and I needed this bad because I had nothing but a girlfriend and a dog. But by putting it out there, it gave me a date, and now it gave me a sense of urgency. That fierce urgency of now, I had to open this. And sure enough, we did. We opened up December, the magazine came out, and we've had a great company for 15 years. Bringing in Stagen and the team occasionally for some corporate work. I'll never forget, Jamie Wheels says to me, he's like, Jeff, we need to get you some more C-level players. I'm like, Jamie, C-level? I want A players. He was talking about like the C-suites, I didn't know, I'm still young, I'm still figuring this out. But anyways, the sense of urgency is real. When you set that date, now you work hard and you get it done. And we've been doing it for 15 years, and it's been the best ride of my life. But this is art. It's a bronze statue. It's solid. And if you process what this image is, after 15 years, I think I'm here. My EQ is probably off the charts. Not so sure about the IQ and the other Qs. But if you're an emotional leader and you lead from the heart, you care and you give a fuck about the people. You internalize it. Mazel tov. Yeah, all right. But I've got thousands of employees that are connected to me. I've got 2 kids now. If you're a father or a mother, even if you have a dog, you understand the commitment, the responsibility. And the decisions that you make affect everyone. And 15 years ago, when I started Wich, I could do as much as I want, whatever I wanted to do, and I was in a real creative space. But as it grew, the partners and the responsibility, because I care about them, started taking on a weight. And it's a different weight than the financial weight I had at Genghis Grill. It's a real emotional, caring weight. And it feels like it's slowing me down. I got 50 employees, team members, 5 blocks away, and I know them intimately. I know their children. I've grown up with them. I know they count on me as a leader. This pressure, this emotional weight, not only at our team, but our partners, our family, our customers, I care about. And because I care, I'm at a point, I just turned 50. I'm really doing some introspective work on myself. And I feel like I'm this caterpillar, that there's something in me right now. There's something that's just always been in me, and this yellow witch caterpillar is just crawling along, and we're growing, we're still going forward and everything, but as a leader, I feel like I'm changing. And change is scary as shit, because you go into this chrysalis, and if you know anything about the caterpillar, how they transform, they don't really change like their brain and who they are, but you come out as something different. And I feel like that's where I'm at right now. And there's a real change that I have to do to be a better leader for my company. Because there are people that can run a 500-store restaurant chain better than I can, because I'm a creator. And to get to things that are in me to create, I'm here today to set the date. Because if I don't set a date now on something I've been working on for 5 years, it may never come. I think the date is so important to set the urgency of the now. But I'm launching, and I'm publicly using the friendship and the community as really the first public gesture to launch my next concept. And I don't take it lightly, and this isn't a Jeff fest or anything, but there's real emotional work that we do as leaders here. You have to play to your strengths, because if you're not playing to your strengths, you may not be doing your family or your company justice. And I want to play to my strengths of creativity. And I've done a lot of brand work from Rand to the coaching to Tony Robbins in Fiji, and I always had coaches, and you spend a lot of time trying to figure it out. But we're going to put a date on Supernova, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about what it is. We're leading with coffee, but on July 2nd of 2019, it's going to open downtown Dallas. The coffee is going to be available first quarter, but I know why I'm doing this, because I'm an entrepreneur. In Supernova, for the first time ever, I'm starting a company to power the preneur. I know why. Because I started at a lemonade stand at the age of 11, and it was freezing cold out. And as an entrepreneur, I didn't go home. I actually made money. Haley wrote a book about it with Roy Spence. It's not what you sell, it's what you stand for. I stand for entrepreneurism. There are entrepreneurs in this room, whether it's Chris Cook, the mattress-preneur. We've got Steve Hall, maybe an autopreneur. We've got Sonny, a venturepreneur. We got maybe Doug Levy, a stubbornpreneur. But we got Rand, who's a real leaderpreneur. And through all this work, I know now why I'm starting something, because I want to power the preneur through coffee, through beverages, through lifestyle. And Supernova is going to be that. I've been working on it for 5 years, since I had my first cup of coffee at the age of 45. My buddy said, "You're tired," and I hit a shot of espresso, and it changed my life. The brain fog was gone. And I've been on a quest right now to start incubate my next concept, almost like that caterpillar that goes into that chrysalis and comes out. And I'm coming out today, publicly. And it's hard to do, because I've got a lot of partners and a lot of people. My wife thinks I'm crazy partially, because she's one of those voices in my head. But we started with those voices, but we're going to do something amazing, and it's going to help Wich in everything that I do, because it's going to get me to the place where I need to belong. I want to bring Rand up to the stage, and I want to bring Dawn Pinot up to the stage. I'm just going to give you a little insight of where we're going with this, because I'm real grateful and I'm real thankful to at least have you be part of my sense of urgency. And I hope to see you at Wich and also Supernova. But I found the best in coffee. Just when you want something bad enough, again, the world gives it to you. Right now, coffee is being poured. It's the first batch of Supernova by probably the coffee guru of the world. There's not too many people that launch coffee concepts. But when I met this person, she was working at a company called Bulletproof, where they were energizing, putting butters in coffees and really setting California on fire. Now Bulletproof's a vitamin-ceutical company approaching $250 million that Dawn Pinot helped launch with a crazy Dave Asbury. It's timing. Dawn was coming off a gig. I call her up, what are you doing? She's like, I'm just moving. I'm like, come to Dallas. The next day she was here. We've been working on the Supernova Coffee for months. But a lot of people don't know, if you rewind the hand of time, and Rand ties into this story too, that Dawn also started a coffee company. She made the first cup of coffee for Howard Schultz. For 10 years, she grew Starbucks. She was Howard's first employee, and she was Supernova's first employee. She made the coffee for Bulletproof. She is amazing. And Rand, you're amazing. And the horsepower and the team that we have, that I always say, the best business you start is the one where you aggregate all your experiences and start. The tough thing is starting. But you have to put it out there. You have to put that date, and you have to let everybody know. Because now this conspiracy really starts. The phone's going to ring for maybe covers of magazines. You got Halo already teed up. But I've never even worn Supernova clothing till today. It's a big day for me. But I want to toast it with my friends, my partners, and my community. Rand, thank you for a Hawaiian Tropic bikini contest. Fun, introducing me to my wife. By the way, we have my wife's cookie on the table. There's not too many people that have the opportunity to taste my wife's cookie unless you go to Wich. So some people got that one, Josh. But in all seriousness, look, I owe a lot to this man through friendship, through pushing me, through cutting up credit cards. He knows a lot about coffee. You know, we can go there, but we're not. But I want him to share the first glass of our Supernova signature beverage that has a little butter. We also have a dairy company. But Rand, you're a special guy, and I'm happy to really celebrate with you the launch of my company, the celebration of your 20 years together. And Dawn, thank you for being part of this team, and thank you to the whole community. I have one more thing for you. Right here. Rand, we have the first batch of Supernova Coffee. And we also there are 100 Supernova Dolls that I've collected over the last 3 years. I've set the mark on eBay. I started buying them at $7, and they've reached a point to 200, so I'm the market setter for Supernova Dolls. But I bought 100 of them, and they're going to be an art display in the office, and Rand has one, Dawn has one, and there's going to be 100 influential people in this vision that are going to help shape Supernova. So Rand, welcome to Supernova. Thank you for having me. Cheers to Stagen. That's all I got.